Yes, thank you for the thumbs up. All right, let's get started. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to review the basics of strengths. We're going to talk about what is strengths and why do we need it. Always start with why in all your presentations, my friends. What causes hesitation and how to shift? We're going to review how do we start everything or anything with our strengths, and you'll get to share what you're taking away. Apply your strengths to what you're doing this week. What is results and joy? So the reason why we want to do this consistently, right, is because we're always doing something different. We're always doing something new. And every time we do something new, we keep remembering the fundamentals of our strengths so that we can consistently practice this thing, that although we are doing new things, we're always going to be who we are. For those of you who don't know who I am, just real quickly, I'm a father to 7. I have 6 girls and a boy. I'm married to a very powerful influencer for more than 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur since 2011. I'm a certified Gallup Strengths coach, as well as a 6-figure earner in network marketing and coaching. Can't wait to change those slides. That's one of my goals. All right, we're going to move on. So what happened? So I was successfully building a coaching and network marketing business, but I struggled seeing too many people not believe in themselves, and I felt helpless to make a difference. I'm just going to make this simple. I hated the fact that I could only help certain types of people. And I learned that oftentimes those types were people oftentimes like me. And so that was that bothered me. I felt like who I am and what I could do should be able to help anyone. So I was introduced to strengths and I became obsessed with helping people be successful their way instead. And I spent 4 years creating programs to help people grow their business, their relationships, health, belief in themselves, starting with the fundamentals of their strengths. In the last 4 years, I've helped thousands get more engagement and thus more results in their businesses with more joy and energy while significantly reducing burnout and unfulfillment. And I'm now on a mission with a core team of people, about over 40 plus trained coaches and a community of over 1,500 people to help network marketers, companies, coaches, anyone really just kind of get results without having to change their systems or programs or be different, right? It's about ultimately being who you are. So before we start, what do you want? So what we want to do is we want to start off with what is it that you want? Strengths can help guide you what you care about and how you like to do things, but it won't come to your door and say, okay, here's your to-do list. What you must do is get clear about what it is you want to see happen. The way I like to look at it is imagine if a camera has been following you all day. What results would you want the camera to record? And I want you to think in this terms of physical manifestation of results, right? And that means more money, more people around you, the right people, obviously, right? More productivity, more creativity, more collaboration, maybe even producing content or tools. You take something from a thought and you move it into creation. What is it you want to see happen this week? And so what's awesome about strengths is that as of about 2020, there was about 7.7 billion people on the planet. And the odds that someone else has the same strengths report as you is part of why strengths is amazing. So the chances of another person having the same top 5 in the same order as you is about 1 in 280,000. That means that if everyone on the planet took the assessment, right? If everyone on the planet took the assessment, then there would be about 27,500 people that would have the same top 5 as you, but in different order. But what about the same order? Even though, because the order does matter, y'all. The order matters a lot. And so the chances of finding someone with the same top 5 as you in the same order is about 1 in 33 million. Hold on one second. Yeah, 1 in 33 million. That means that if everyone took the assessment on the planet, as of 2020, there'd be about 230 to 240 people that would have the same top 5 in the same order. So what we're seeing here is the world is getting smaller. The chances of another person having the same top 6 as you is about 1 in just under a billion. So that's roughly 8 to 10 people on the planet. And then we go to the same top 7 in the same order. And that's more than 1 in 8 billion by far, which means that with the top 7, you are different than anyone currently living on the planet, okay, just with the top 7. The chances of another person having the full 34 is more than 1 in 130 billion, which means that By the year actually, let me just give you this meaning here. By the year 2050, they measure that by the year 2050, there will have been about 130 billion people born by 2050. And since the chances of someone having the same full 34 as you is gargantuanly more than that, this means that you are different than anyone ever will be or ever has been. So essentially, what's awesome about strengths is it proves that you are infinitely unique and cannot be duplicated. So I want you to always write that down. And every time we do these fundamentals, it's important to remember that you are unique. Your problems aren't. There's no way you could possibly have a problem that at least one other person has, like at least one person has never had. At least one person. If at least one person has ever had a problem like yours, then you are far more unique than your problem. And so many of us go through life thinking the opposite is true. That's what causes us to quit, give up, shut down, and become inconsistent with our life and business. Because, and here's another thing, oftentimes we'll look at other people. So the people that you follow, the ones you learn from, the ones you get inspired by or otherwise follow, right, or compare yourself to, those people are also infinitely unique. Any person you've ever seen on stage or in front of a camera or at an event or anything that's doing something that you want to be able to do, those people are also infinitely unique and cannot be duplicated. And what this means is that comparison is irrelevant. There's no point to comparison. None. Oftentimes we'll even look at other people just to quote unquote see what's possible, but that's not a bearing on what you can do. My favorite example is I think it's called the 4-minute mile. There was a person who saw that no one had been able to run a mile in 4 minutes. And ultimately that person just said, well, no one's done it. I want to do it. And then he does it. And now that it's done, so many other people have done it. And so this is the only reason we have comparison, is to prove that the impossible is possible. So comparison doesn't help us. So when you're learning from these people, they don't show you how to be you. They can only tell you what it is that they do. Just like you can only tell others what it is you do. But what we're here to do is to find out how you want to do things. That's what you're here for. How you want to do what you want to do. And now there's a couple of things we want to throw into this. First off, we want to remember the golden rule at all times. Now, strengths has nothing to do with what you can't do. Oftentimes people are even afraid to take the strengths assessment because they don't want what they can't do to be exposed, when you can just comfort them and say, no, that's not what this is about. Strengths has everything to do with how you do everything your way, and it works, but only about 100% of the time. I'd love to be able to do more, but I can't. I'm trying, but I'll see. I'll let you know if I could do better. So your top 10 strengths are where you are most influential, you are creative, you are productive, and you connect with others. In your top 10, no matter what your top 10 strengths are, you are all these things. Your bottom 5 are where you become something else. When you try to be something you're not, right? When you try to do something that is what I call a low strength, it's the opposite of who you are. You become someone who holds other people back. You become boring, unproductive, and you disconnect from others. So let's talk about what's joy and results. When we do exactly what the successful do, we can guarantee success, but not joy. When we use our strengths with everything we do, we can guarantee joy, but not results. When we do everything the successful do using our infinitely unique strengths, we get joy and results. So when you're studying ways of doing things, when you're buying programs or you're hiring coaches or you're watching people on stage and they're teaching and they're training or you're watching a YouTube channel that's trying to teach you how to do something, remember that there's a difference between why they're doing what they're doing and what they're doing. Why they're doing what they're doing is the thing that you want to apply your strengths to. What they're doing gets to be modified by you with your strengths. So in essence, joy and results is something we deserve. We deserve nothing less than it. That's what we're here for, to practice creating joy and results. We're here to focus on what you're good at and getting everything you want the way that you want it. So what keeps us from getting everything we want, right? It's hesitation. And there's two different forms of hesitation. The first one is that hesitation comes when there's something you want to do and you doubt you can do it by just being you. And when I said, now I want you to pay attention to this, there's something you want to do. Like you want to be a great network marketer, or you want to be a great coach, or you want to be a great mom or a great dad, or you want to be a great spouse, or you want to be a great basketball coach, or you want to be a great hockey coach, or you want to be a great runner, a great swimmer, whatever it is you want to do, right? You doubt you can do it by just being you. That causes hesitation. The next one is hesitation also comes because there's something you want to do. Again, you want to do it, and you fear something important is being risked. For example, if you're an executor, you want to learn something new, but you fear that time is going to be wasted. This is an example. So you hesitate. So the domains is the antidote to hesitation. When we understand our domains, we move forward more authentically because the domains show us what we care about so that we honor it with everything we do. And it shows us how to do it ultimately with each of our strengths so that we know that we are enough. So these are the domains. There's relationship building, influencing, executing, and strategic thinking. And this is where